Hey,
Right.
Lala. So I'm excited to talk to you about how the consistent 10K
Mhm.
month program went for you.
Oh,
So
mhm. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, that's okay. So I guess let's start with the beginning. Where were you before you started? Where were you in business? What made you want to join?
Um, well, I was in a couple of big life changes, and then I was also having issues with self-esteem, and I've been a graphic designer for many years. I mean, for 17 years, but for some reason, I always struggled with confidence, and then thinking of it as a business had you know has always been a struggle for me, and even calling myself an entrepreneur was a struggle for me. um that's just where I wasn't confident about myself. I wasn't confident about reaching out to more prospects. And I was at a place that I was sort of like in my comfort zone, if you will. I was happy working for a client for 15 years. I enjoyed the job, and but that company got sold, so I had to go into entrepreneur mode. So and that's when your coaching opportunity came up. So that was really good timing for me, because I was in this space where I was really unsure of myself, and along with a couple of life changes. So I think it would have taken more than just updating my skills. I think that's what I've been doing most of the time, just updating my skills. And I binge on courses a lot. I watch a lot of technical courses and stuff, and despite that, I just still wouldn't have the confidence, even to just reach out. I'm not even like active in social media at all, because I was I was just so unsure of everything.
Yeah.
And that's where I was.
Yeah. And so what about my program spoke to you? What about working with me? Like, what were you excited about?
um I think I've actually watched a few previews of other coaching programs, and for some reason they just didn't feel right for me. I'm not sure. I think it was your personality. I felt really comfortable about. um I think there was just something about how you spoke in your video that didn't sound salesy to me. It sounded very genuine, and I knew it came from a genuine place. Um, and also, I'm trying to go back to the beginning. But that was the thing that struck to me. I think it just came across as very genuine, and then there was just something there that aligned with how I felt about everything. I'm an intuitive person, but it's funny because I'm an intuitive person, but I'm also a very uncertain person. So
Mhm.
I think if I'm really sure about something, it was pretty rare. So I guess I just picked your coaching out of intuition for me, because there was something about it that aligned with me.
Awesome. Yeah. Sometimes there's just, yeah, there's that next level of knowing it would work. And so I'm glad you saw
Hmm.
such great results. So how did the
Hmm.
program help you?
Oh, it's funny because I was thinking it is about business, running a business, but didn't think that the mindset was an important component of running a business. So I think that was something different from what I saw in the other coaching programs I've come across, was the mindset. um, and Also, along that mindset, it shifted the way I think about things. I think I was a very reactive person before, and but it put me into this mode where I realized that I can actually control my situation. So that gave me a lot of confidence, and even like calling myself an entrepreneur, you know. Um, so the mind shift was a big thing for me, since I came from a very unsure place. So now I'm more cognizant of what aligns with me better, I think.
Mhm.
Um, and even being confident about, you know, the business that I have. And this is the weird thing, because I don't think, I'm still working on my business, but and even though I feel like I should be farther along, in the past that would make me really depressed, like I would beat myself up for it, you know, mentally. And right now I feel like I'm in the right place, and I have this feeling that I'm going to get there, you know. I'm on my way there. So, you know, because of that mind shift, I think I am more of a patient person too. Because
Mhm.
before I wasn't, you know, I wanted things right,
Yeah.
right away. And because, you know, I was a very unsure person. So, you know, how nice would it be if everything was just done, you know, at a
Yeah.
snap of a
And
finger? But having this mind shift, you're more, since you're more cognizant to what aligns with you, then you're also more patient as a person too. Like, even if you're not at your end goal yet, you know you're at the right place. So that's how I feel about it. It's more of a mindset shift for me. And you know, I didn't realize that would give me a lot of confidence in a lot of areas too, not just business, but even dealing with family. um, so that was the big thing for me, was the mind shift for sure.
wow, yeah, that's so powerful too. And as you said, trusting, like you had so many wins, whereas before you would have been like, oh, well, I'm not far enough. And now you're like, oh, well, I've had these wins. The journey is getting me where I want to
Hmm.
be. And I can just feel safe and I don't have to feel just that anxiety and stress that was
Yeah.
running your life before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, like for example, I know I mentioned that I was going to get a new project, I think last week, and it would have been great, but that person actually canceled it. It turns out, because when she offered it to me, they were slammed with work. So, but then by that time, the other designers were available, so I ended up not getting it. And
Hmm.
then of course I was sad for a bit because it was good money. But at the same time, it happened for a reason, because my stepdaughter actually called the next day and said she's coming to visit in 2 days. And I'm like, had I, you know, had I had that project, you know, I wouldn't be able to spend time with her at all. So,
Hmm.
you
And
know,
family is a huge part for you too. So being able to,
yeah.
yeah, again, see the wins and what's happening and how it's working for you. That's so powerful. And then you were also talking about some of the strategy too, and some of the different pieces that you learned in marketing and
Oh
growing your
yeah.
business.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, it brought me back to a time actually that I've forgotten about. You know, 20 years ago, I had just gotten out of a banking job for 4 years that I really hated.
yeah.
Because I'm a creative person, and you know, I took the banking job because I felt that would make my parents happy. Because it had a lot of benefits and stuff, and it was a really good job, except that I wasn't, you know, it wasn't aligned with who I am. So I got out of there, and then I took this course on web design, and then after 4 months I applied to this startup, and then I went through a few interviews till I got to the president, and he was interviewing me, but at the same time I was asking a bunch of questions about his business. And then after that interview was over, they called me like the day after. Instead of offering me the web design job, they asked me, well, after talking to you, we realized we might need a market researcher, and would you be interested in that? And I love that period in my life, just doing research, you know. And then because I'm a frustrated psychologist too, so I love seeing what makes people tick,
Hmm.
um, so I've forgotten about that. And I'm trying to remember which part of which lesson you had that actually brought that out, because I remember answering those questions and writing it down, and that brought me back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to do that. So now I'm doing a lot of that. Like I'm doing a lot of research, and I enjoy it so much. I'm doing so much research about my market, and
Well, it's almost like you're bringing your passion back into your business because that's a
yeah.
service you can be offering your clients. So bringing
Mhm.
your joys and something you love back into something that makes you money again, or a piece of your
Yeah.
business that can make you money.
Yeah, that certainly, brought back the joy, I guess. And even thinking more along the lines of being a strategist now. And honestly, like a few months ago, I took a branding strategy class. It's very good, but I had a lot of hesitation calling myself a strategist. In fact, on my LinkedIn, I put it on there, and then I changed it and called it something else because I can. And then now that I have, and then I forgot to ask myself, well, why do I like, why do I like to learn strategy? And that was a big part of it, was, yeah, because I like, I like knowing people. I like to know, what makes them make certain decisions. I like to explore, like, the consumer journey, for one. And then I thought about it. Well, I think that could be something that could make me unique in being, um, a packaging designer. So that was a big thing for me. I think that was,
Yeah.
because of the mindset. It made me think more of myself as a strategist. So now, you know, I
Now
might
you
be
have the
able to call.
confidence too. Yeah, now you're
Yeah,
going to call yourself that and you'll be like, yeah, this is what I do because both your
yeah.
business and your confidence have built up to be able to fit that level.
Hmm.
Awesome. So if someone was thinking about my program, what would you say to them thinking about
If
joining?
somebody was what? Sorry.
Thinking about joining, working on coaching with me, what would you say to them?
Oh, yeah. I'd say, yeah, go ahead and do it, because it was a good decision for me, for sure. And for me, it came at the right time. And, listen to your own intuition. If it feels right, go ahead and do it, because most likely it's the right thing to do. It's funny because I'm not much of a risk taker. So, um, but, being in touch with your intuition really does make things easier. It gives you more clarity. So I take, yeah, I'd say, go for it.
Thank you. Yeah, you did such a great job in the program, and to see your progress is so exciting.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, thank you. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.